So Enlisted in this last update has buffed and upgraded a lot of weapons. One of them is the BF-109K4. Originally, it was one of the better fighters of the game, but now it sort of fills the fighter-bomber role, which is actually insane for this top-tier plane. In this video, we're going to be talking about the history, the stats, and whether or not you should be getting it, and whether if not, it is better than Focke-Wulf D12, which is the other great German plane in this tier, and whether or not it can stand up to against P-47s, and so on. That said, without further ado, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, highly suggest that you do. But that said, let's get started with the history. Throughout the 1920s and the 1930s, the Luftwaffe was developing civilian aircraft that could easily be converted into military fighters and bombers. The Bf-109 emerged from a requirement for a superior speed courier plane that also functioned as a fighter. Messerschmitt, despite initial opposition, was tasked with designing the Bf-109 after highlighting flaws in fighter specifications. The Messerschmitt design focused on a lightweight construction, ease of maintenance, and improved engineering, such as a spiral landing gear, which was revolutionary for its time, and a quick engine replacement and whatnot. The Bf-109's wings featured a high-lift device for maneuverability. Although initially doubted by veteran pilots, aircraft's revolutionary design immediately won their approval and influenced future German fighters. Throughout the war years, the Bf-109 went through multiple changes and upgrades. The last series is the one we have now with the Bf-109K, known as Kurfürst. Unfortunately for this series, it was a combination of model upgrades, modification kits, and factory conversions, which were ultimately either both to maintain the construction and maintain the production. Due to a literal nightmare of both costs and maintenance, due to problem with the series of production and late stage of the war, the K4 model was the only version to be ever mass-produced. The external changes include moving the radio equipment hatch, fuselage, fuel tank, and filler port, the direction finding loop, and the addition of a retractable tail wheel and a clamshell door. The armament included a 30mm and 13mm machine guns with options to drop bombs or a 20mm cannon with side pods. However, the suspended armament was rarely utilized. Between November 1944 and March of 1945, a total of 1,593 Bf-109K4s were produced. By that point, 1 in 4 of the Bf-109s were listed in frontline units was a Bf-109K4. Unfortunately, at this point in the war, the Bf-109K4 has two things going up against it. Firstly, it was the appearance of jet fighters, which practically nulled the advantage of the K4 because why would you not use a jet fighter? And secondly, the vast amount of pilots that they use were either raw or inexperienced. Thus, the usage of the K4's advantages could not be exploited. That said, that is all it for the history. Let's move on to the stats. The Bf-109K4 has a lot of good things. It has a crew of 1 because it's a fighter, duh. It has a 250kg bomb, a single 30mm cannon mounted in the nose, and two 13mm machine guns also mounted in the nose. The maximum speed is 741, and the maximum climb is 27. The best turn, which is actually really good for this plane, is 17. This is actually much lower than the LA-7, but then also higher than the P-47, so that's that. But the speed is also pretty good in the sense that the speed is faster than the P-47, but it is actually slower than the Focke-Wulf 190. But that said, let's move on to the verdict. For a verdict, it's a good plane. It is better than the Focke-Wulf 190 in some regards, most notably in the flight dynamic. For one, the maximum speed is 763 for the Focke-Wulf 190, but the horrendous speed of 19 for turn time is horrific. And unlike the Focke-Wulf, the Messerschmitt does a better job with 17 best turn, which isn't a lot, but once you upgrade it, it can easily go down to 16, which can essentially outturn every fighter that you come across, which is insane if you ask me. Also, the P-47 even upgraded only has 17 with full upgrades, so that's gonna be a good thing for you as the fighter. On the other hand, a few things will be an issue in the sense that the firepower is greatly diminished. Focke-Wulf 190 has a pair of 20mm cannons instead of the 13mm cannons on the Bf-109K4, and what's better is the fact that it has actually more bombs, but if you personally ask my personal opinion, one 250kg bomb is already enough. On the other hand, what's its main goal, the Bf-109K4, is to shoot down planes, and from what I see right now in front of my face, which is the stats, I would say this is actually a pretty good upgrade of the Focke-Wulf 190. because the Focke-Wulf 190D12 isn't really a fighter. It can fight planes, but it really takes a long time to turn. The K4, on the other hand, is kind of the opposite in the sense that it is made for fighting planes. My personal suggestion is that I hope the turn time will be decreased from 17 to 16, but if you upgrade this will also get the job well done. Overall, this is a great plane for turning because the thing has flaps, and the combat flaps, from what I observed, don't tend to break easily. And what's better is the fact that these combat flaps can actually be used in combat very well. So that's that. Overall, it's a great plane to both bomb and shoot down planes, of which you will be using it a lot against the P-47, which is the spam plane of the Allies. That's it. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join Discord, and I highly suggest that you get this plane, and have a great day.